Hi, this is Ryan, and today we are going to talk about what is happening in the Phoenix market. There's been a lot of news and some craziness, so stay tuned to find out kind of what is happening here locally. Now, for those of you who subscribe to our monthly newsletter reports, you may be aware of some of the changes that we're seeing within the market. But I wanted to make a quick and easy video to explain, what those changes are and maybe what's to be expected on the horizon. Now, it should be no surprise that in the last 6 to 12 months, we have seen some of the most intense market that we have ever seen, especially in the first quarter of this year. It's safe to say that we knew that this amount of trajectory had to slow down at some point. And heading into May 2022, we are finally starting to see, a softening or a shift in the market. One of the big things that's driving this is, the increase in rates. As you're probably aware, the Fed has increased our rates substantially, which in turn has priced out some buyers and changed their purchasing power on what they could afford. The average interest rate in December 2021 was 3.1%, where it is now 5.9%, a 2% increase in just over, a year and a half. So to put that into context, let's say you purchase a home today and you got a loan for $500,000. With today's average interest rate, you might be paying around $2,750 for your monthly mortgage. If you purchased that same house May of last year, when interest rates were around 3%, your mortgage would be around $2,100. So that's a $650 difference monthly. Now, one of the first indicators we always see, with the health of our market has to do with the rental market. And we saw an ample increase of listings over the last 4 weeks, 45% increase just in rental markets. So we're starting to see, maybe that shift come into the resale market. For instance, for sale active listing count across all areas and types has jumped 27% in just 4 weeks. And that's an even faster percentage than we experienced in 2005. It's a pretty scary percentage, even though the absolute numbers remain small. But if this growth rate persists through May and June, the market will be very different by July. And supply is building quickly thanks to a lot of new listings, and a major slowdown in homes going under contract. So these last 6 weeks look like a significant turn in the market that we have been anticipating for several years. And there are no obvious upcoming changes expected that would reverse that current trend. The only thing could be dropping rates again, but that does not seem to be even remotely on the table, from the Federal Reserve. So because the market was so hot in February, it will take several months for this trend to bring us down to more, normal levels where there's an equal amount of sellers and buyers. Right now, sellers still have the upper hand, but we're seeing that change. And in theory, with more homes available to choose from and less buyers competing against you, you might assume prices are on the way down. However, we actually anticipate prices to keep on this upward trend, albeit just a lot slower than we've seen over the last couple years. And this is due to the gap between supply and demand is just still so large. That unless we see a flood of existing inventory hit the market from institutional investors or even new construction, which is still very hard to build, it's hard to see home prices falling extremely soon. So, what do we think is going to happen, and how does this relate to, buyers and sellers out there? So I think for buyers, if you're still renting, which rent prices have gone up just in line with home prices, and you've been waiting to buy, and have the financial backing, this might be the time to get in. We've already seen some of our buyers that had trouble finding the right home last year have some success in this market. But it's even more important now to know your numbers, and remember that what you're buying is your monthly payment. Your home price can and will go up and down, but your home payment does not change. Now for sellers, I think the writing is on the wall. If you want to maximize your equity position over the last few years, then this is the time to really start looking at what your options are. So as always, we are here to answer any questions. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.